Yeah, in that year, the Mark IIs brought a lot of advancements of the Mark I models. We looked at the user feedback and our own internal experiences, and yeah, we decided to make certain changes and prolong the life of these analog devices. I think the first notable thing that I'd like to mention is the screen. The OLED screen is much easier on the eyes, and the pads on the rhythm is much easier on the fingers. They're bigger now, and the one of the most notable differences between the Analog 4 Mark I and the Mark II was the individual outs.
Oh, yeah.
And on the rhythm, the individual outs, the physical outs, are much more fleshed out. Before, the bass drum and the snare would be sharing the same output. Now they're individual, which I think is really cool. And the rhythm can actually now sample, record sounds into it. That is just incredible, I think, to have that type of analog processing sampling units in this type of box. And then one of the things that I really enjoy, that I think it really enhanced the workflow of these things, is the quick performance section here. So basically you can control one of your performance macros with just a single knob. And with the latest updates that we did, you can choose multiple performance macros.
Yeah, exactly.
and control all at the same time with one knob. I think this has been a very good upgrade of how you can use these machines and perform them then. And also we can't forget the bigger interface, and I think that really allowed us to put these certain direct feature buttons like the mix, the sound, the track, and then we were able to put the quick performance. I think these were very good additions, and of course the beautiful buttons. They look really nice.
Yeah, and touching on that from a technical angle, we did a lot of improvements, I would say. You mentioned the screen already. It's an OLED screen, and the encoders are of a new type, providing more precision and more durability. And the buttons are professional grade gaming buttons. People at Electron are really nerdy and enthusiastic about the buttons in general, like what is the feel like, and building custom computer keyboards and stuff. So we put basically the best we could find into starting with the Digitakt, but then we carried over that to the Mark IIs in the analogs as well. They are super durable, basically being spec'd for millions of cycles, so they should last for a very long time. Each button has an RGB LED underneath as well, so we can provide this nice backlit button set, which makes it much easier to use, I think, in a dark environment. And the screen also helps with that being really crisp. And yes, overall it's a new experience, I would say. And you mentioned the bigger pads. That's probably the main driving force behind the new form factor as well, fitting that in a sensible interface.
And yeah, we can't forget the USB upgrade.
Oh yeah, that's also one very important point. So
very good though.
Having seen the experience from Overbridge in the Mark ones, we realized that users didn't want to do this channel configuration that you had to do, pick which channels do you want to transmit within this bandwidth budget that you have. So on the Mark ones, we had this full speed USB 2 implementation, which means it's 12 megabits per second. So that fits a number of channels. On these, we upped that to high-speed USB 2, meaning 480 megs per second. And then we can fit all the channels at all times in 32-bit quality. So we have a much nicer experience from the Overbridge angle also. I think as a user, you don't have to configure anything. All the channels are always available in your plugin. So you just drop the Analog Rytm or Analog 4 plugin into your host, and you have all the individual outputs directly available, no configuration.
Yeah, I mean, basically, to answer the question is, Mark IIs brought answers to our experiences and user feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
We just wanted to evolve and, as I said, prolong the life of these. And hopefully we've managed to do that.
Yeah, I think so. quite enjoy using them, and it's nice to see this latest iteration of them in front of us here as well.
Yes.